Hi guys, welcome or welcome back. I'm Sagnick Dutta. I'm a final year MBBS student at Bardwan Medical College and Hospital, West Bengal. Now this introduction seems so fascinating, right? That I'm a final year MBBS student. I have covered almost 3-4 years in a medical college and I'll finally be a doctor after 1.5 years now. But behind this introduction is a story which I have lived, a story that was devastating, a story that was daunting, a story that was traumatizing. Every single year, around 20 to 25 lakh people give the NEET UG examination. And I believe that each one of them have a story to tell, and each story is different from the other. Till my class 10th, I was a good student. I was scoring above 90% marks. I was always in the top 10. And even in my class 10th board exams, I had scored around 96.8% marks. I stood second in my school and I also had a rank in the town and district. And it was then when I decided that I want to be a doctor. I come from a family where my mother works as a nurse in the same hospital where I'm currently studying. So because my parents were working, I used to go to the hospital very frequently with my mother, and that was when I had decided that I want to be a doctor. So after my class 10th results, my friends and my parents, I talked to every one of them and finally decided that okay, I want to take up a coaching class so that I can prepare for this exam called as NEET. Before that, I knew nothing about this exam called as NEET. So my father had suggested, and some of my friends were also getting enrolled into an institute called as Akash Institute. Now, I come from a very small town, which back then had no coaching institutes in 2017-18. So I had to get myself enrolled into the branch, which was situated in Kolkata. Every weekend, I had to go get the classes done for 2 consecutive days, Saturdays and Sundays, for around 7 to 8 hours. So I used to go attend the classes, again come back. It was when I got hold of a thing, the term called as competition. Before that, I had never seen such a competition for any exam or anything in life. Every people who was sitting in and around me in that very class was either scoring the same marks that I was having in my class 10th boards or even higher. And everyone knew so many things. Everyone was from a metro city. They were so advanced, so good as compared to what I was. And that was somehow demotivating me back then, which I was not realizing. I was trying to cope up with the things that was happening. I was trying to study. I was trying to maintain my relationship. I was trying to maintain my family and everything. But everything was not going according to what I wanted. I was losing my relationship, I was having a bad relationship with my parents, and even I could not perform well in the tests. Somehow I managed to survive these 2 years, gave the board exams, and then the D-Day came of 2019 NEET, and I scored around 400 marks, which could practically fetch me nothing. Not even an MBBS seat, not even a BDS seat, whatsoever it might be. I asked my parents what to do. They happily said, go, take a drop, prepare again. This time you know what are your mistakes. This time you know what are your strengths. This time you know what are your weaknesses. This time you know what you should do and what you should not. So go and prepare. We are with you. I had full support of my family this time. I prepared for the NEET UG 2020 exam yet over again, and this time with utmost decency, with utmost hard work, and I gave the exam. I was scoring good and well in the tests that I was giving as well. The D-Day arrived yet again. I gave the exam. I came out of the exam hall happily that I had attempted around 670 marks. The next day, when the answer sheet came, the OMR and the answers from various institutes, I checked and I saw that I was scoring 560. I had almost 100 marks negative. That I had not imagined. But yet I felt that okay, this time I'll get through. I get through a college in West Bengal because here the cutoffs go a little low. And before that year, the cutoffs used to be on a lower side, around 500, 510, 514 max. So 560 was a safe score. I thought, okay, I'll get through it. Even few newer colleges were also opened in the state. So I thought the cutoff would go low, or even if it goes higher, how much will it rise? It will be there or near around. I will get through a medical college, if not in the first round, at least in the second round of counseling. But just before the counseling started, some seat matrix changed happens. That is, some reservations were increased, some general seats were decreased, and there was some change which I don't practically understand, but that happened, and the cutoff rose. It rose very high, and the cutoff ended up at 564 or 568, somewhere like that. And I missed a college by just 1 or 2 questions. That means if I could have done 1 or 2 questions right, I would have been there in a medical college that year. This time, I was shattered, my parents were shattered, my near relatives were shattered. Everyone had great expectations from me this time, and I had a great expectation on myself as well. My parents and my near relatives, they started convincing me that I should take a BDS, which I was easily getting through, like the best dental college in the state I was getting, and they were trying to convince me. Even my father suggested that you enroll yourself into a BDS course and then start preparing for the NEET exam next year. If you get through, then there's a bond of around 1 lakh rupees in the state of West Bengal. They were ready to pay that even. And if I get through, I'll be in a medical college next year, or I'll continue as a dental student. But somewhere inside me, I felt that this is not what the life I want. As famously said, that it is your life and your life is a story, and you are the one who is to decide how you want it to end. And that is when I wanted that I don't want to take a BDS seat this year. I tried to convince my parents, but they were extremely unhappy this time. They were very fearful of the fact that if similar things happen the next year, what would I do? And that was very genuine of them. But I had 3 reasons to myself to convince myself as well as my parents that I want to do it one more time. I want to give myself yet another chance. Number 1 was I had spent around 1 lakh rupees into preparing for the NEET exam just the previous 2 years while I was enrolled into the coaching institutes and every other tuitions and everything. So I didn't want to burden my parents with the same amount yet again. Secondly, I felt somehow that if I become a dentist, I may not turn out to be a good dentist, because that was not something that I wanted from my inner self. And third, and the most important reason was, if I take up that seat and the next year I get through, I will be wasting a BDS seat which someone else could have deserved. And that is when I decided that I want to take a drop yet again. I somehow convinced my parents and started studying. But this time it was tough, very tough, because I had completely lost hope. I had completely lost the energy that was needed to start prepare yet over again. Every single day I used to wake up, I used to convince myself that this is the only option you have in your life left. You have to study. But somehow time passed and it was yet near the exams. In 2021, the JEE exam happened for 4 phases. So the routine came out and every YouTuber was covering these notices that it was placed in a very close proximity. And that was when some random YouTuber said that like in the next 2 months, there will be the NEET exam. And that was when I felt that if that happens, I may not get through even this time. It was the month of April or May probably, and our exam was supposed to be held in August or September. And that was when I buckled up. I thought, these are the things that I need to do. This time, the thing that I need to do, the must do thing is I need to avoid negative markings. I was doing well in physics, I was doing well in chemistry, I was doing well in biology. Biology was the strongest. So I started practicing questions over and over and over again and read the NCERT time and again, and the D-Day came yet again. I gave the exam, and this time I was scoring 605. And I felt so relieved that this time I might get through. The results came out. The ranks were such that I'll be getting through a medical college, but it was again in a borderline of choosing a better college and a college which was near my home. I was yet again in a dilemma, but finally I decided that I'll take up the college which is near my home in my hometown in Burdwan. So I took up Burdwan Medical College, and here I am today in final year of MBBS, and that is my story. Now, why am I sharing this with all of you? Because the NEET 2025 came out to be one of its kind, where the physics question turned out to be very tough. People are saying that it is even matching the level of the JEE Advanced, and that is where the problem is. The agency which is given the responsibility of conducting all these exams, the NEET exam, NTA, do not even know how to balance the question paper for an exam called as NEET. We are going to be doctors, where I hardly find any use of physics as a doctor, except the application of physics in subjects like ophthalmology, where we talk a little bit about ray optics, but that is one basic thing which you have already even in your class 10th. So making a question paper hard based on the subject of physics is something very unfair, because we as medical students are much focused into learning and understanding and having that mentality of understanding the subject of biology and not physics. If it would have been tougher, would have been acceptable, because people actually practice and prepare themselves for a good biology question paper as well. And the subject of biology is huge in itself as well. And hence, having a bad question paper in terms of physics turned out to be a nightmare for many people. But trust me with this, that a tough question paper is a blessing in disguise. Because when the question paper is tough, there will be low cutoff and people would get into medical colleges at much lower rank. Look, the rank does not change. If someone is getting into a medical college with 11,000 rank, the same person in the same college would get into with that 11,000 rank, but maybe at a lower marks. And that's none of our business. So what should you do now? You need to self-introspect what you need to do. If you are at a good position that you will be getting through, then chill out. If you are in a midline position that whether you'll be getting through or not, you don't know, then also chill out. And if you are somewhere below, understand and ask yourself, why are you there? Is it that you did not prepare well but want to prepare well? Then gather all courages and start preparing again. But if you know that you cannot get through, if you have a reason to justify your choice, then take it up. Do whatever you feel is right. That is what I want to talk about. All these coaching institutes have now started playing with the mind of the people all around. If the cutoff goes high, they start selling newer batches, saying that they want you to enroll in their coaching institute so that you can beat the competition. If the cutoff goes low, if the question paper comes out to be hard, they start showing their own slides that jo bhi padhaya wahi aa gaya. You need to understand that the syllabus in NEET UG is limited. So everything you study from that limited syllabus will be in the question paper. But the thing that matters the most is your precision, is your understanding of the concept, and that is what matters at this point of time. I'm not saying that you don't need to enroll yourself into any coaching institute. Enroll yourself into any coaching institute, whatever you might like for yourself. But what you should do at this point of time is trust yourself. You should have the courage to fight again. You should have the courage to decide what is right for you, and that is what should be the basis of your next decision. Take the decision that you want to take a drop or you want to continue into something else should be your decision. I think this video has got a little longer. In the next video, I would like to talk about everything that I followed in my last attempt of NEET UG. So please stay tuned till then. I hope you like this video. If it has helped you gather some courage, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone who might find it helpful as well. Thank you. See you in the next one.